Is Bitcoin going to zero? Are the vaccines really working, or are the numbers being fluffed? And my thoughts on stock market, long-term buys, all that and more.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Bitcoin dropping to zero. Let's dive into it. Bitcoin dropped over 11% today due to the potential clickbaity headlines of potential double buy. So what really happened? Okay. So here's what actually happened. It went down like this. Someone sent 0.0006203 Bitcoin to this address, but sent it at the lowest possible fee per byte, or less than a fraction of the cent, by a byte transaction data. Since the fee was so low, the transaction took a while to confirm, so the sender tried to outpace it, sending what's called a replace by fee transaction, RBF. Basically, a guy tried to buy something with Bitcoin. He was impatient, and therefore at first he did the cheapest possible route, and he was impatient because it did not go through immediately. It'd be like if you did shipping on 3 to 5 days, and then you got impatient, and then you went ahead and bought it again on business class or whatever, first class, priority shipping, whatever. But that's basically what he did. But the first one went through, and then the systems caught the second one. So basically, the mainstream media is being very irresponsible, in my opinion, with how they are reporting this. This happens all the time in your traditional banks with credit cards. This happens a lot. So do I think it's something to be worried about? In the long term, no. Short term, maybe, perhaps. But in the long term, I still think that as long as you are diverse throughout different investments, that it should be fine. And if anything, Bitcoin is now on sale and you can get it at a cheaper price. In other news, Joe Biden, one of his first executive orders, he walked back the WHO funding. They are now receiving funding, and one of their first actions was they updated the requirements to PCR testing. Meaning, in the beginning, it was you had a positive test, you had COVID, and that's why there was a lot of false positives. Now they're stating that if you get tested, you need to confirm that you are indeed COVID positive. And if on the second test you have confirmed that you are COVID positive, you then have positive, you're then COVID positive. So there's two layers. So it would be a much more accurate and better way of testing. This will also cause the case numbers to go down. This is going on the same time that the vaccines are being distributed. So do with that news what you will. But for sure, the PCR testing is being updated, and it's going to cause a lower rate of infection. That segues me to my third point of this video, and that is my long-term investments that I think will be very good. Is going to be Pfizer, because of Joe Biden's executive order to stopping COVID and financially supporting COVID. Pfizer is going to be a great long-term play, in my opinion, as well as Johnson & Johnson and Amazon. They will distribute 100 million vaccines. So Amazon's already seen some pretty good growth this week. Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson not so much, but potential there. So that would be a long-term play, in my opinion. Another long-term play, in my opinion, would be GM. It's a high-paying dividend stock, and they bought a company when there was only 100 employees and has now grown to over 1,000 employees. And they are going to rival Tesla as far as self-driving vehicles. So this is very promising in the future. It has potential for growth, and it also pays dividends. That's it for the news today. I'm Devin. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, and share. Comment down below what your thoughts are on Bitcoin. Comment what you think of my long-term play stock investments. But that's it for this time. So long. Peace, love, and prosperity.